Hello and welcome. Today is going to be our second day of discussing Cinderella and the different versions of Cinderella. And this one we're going to jump into is the Rogers and Hammerstein version from 1997. Now this one wasn't released in the theaters, it was released on television as part of the Wonderful World of Disney. But I wanted to include this because it is a fantastic film. It is one of my personal favorites and I really admire the way they portrayed this entire film. Whitney Houston, that produced it and also starred in it, did a fantastic job. So you already know that I love this film. Besides the late great Whitney Houston, we have the most all-star cast possible. There's the fabulous Bernadette Peters, there's Brandy, there's Jason Alexander, Whoopi Goldberg, Victor Garber, the list goes on, and these people are the most talented people, especially in 1997. Everyone was at top of their game. The story is pretty traditional, they follow it very well, and there's no talking animals, and it makes it 1,000 times better. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not angry at talking animals. You'll see that there's a lot of films coming up that my favorite characters are the talking animals. It's just the way they're represented and their personalities.
The sweetest sounds I'll ever hear are still inside my head.
Cinderella and the prince meet, and the prince meets her in his street clothes. And I feel like this is a nice background because it shows that there was chemistry right from the beginning, and it's not just, oh, magical girl appears, I like her, she's the one for me type of scenario that sort of happens in every other Prince Charming meets Cinderella effect. I really enjoy this version of Cinderella too because even though she is very coy and meek and mild, she does stand up for what she believes in, and even though she keeps going on saying it's impossible.
Impossible.
And things are impossible.
Impossible.
She's able to change her thinking, and she is very susceptible to be able to change. Whitney Houston as the fairy godmother is the best choice ever, and I really appreciate her direction in this entire feature. From the moment she is introduced in this film, she just brings it. She is on par, and I love how she's very nonchalantly doubtful about things, because it's very important to know that you're the one that has to change. You're the one that has the ability to change, and you can do whatever you want to do, and I really, really admire that message. And it's great to have help along the way, and she does provide that help, but all along she speaks that you're the one that's going to make the change.
You know who, now you're living, there's music in you.
And for that, I thank you. I really do. That message is so much more powerful, and I know at the time, the 90s, the late 90s specifically, we were going through that girl power, everything is great, human rights, women's rights, you can stand up for yourself, which I was obviously a part of growing up back then, but it's just so important to hear, and this is the thing I feel like we're missing today. We don't have those messages anymore, and they're very important, and we need to bring that back. Whoopi Goldberg as the mother is fantastic. Victor Garber as the father is fantastic. They have a wonderful chemistry with each other as well. I love Whoopi's quirk that she has where she just can't speak. And when she's frustrated about everything, she just can't speak.
Here we go.
And Bernadette Peters as the stepmother is fabulous. She's such a diva in real life that it's easy for her to draw upon, but the thing I really appreciate is that she has more depth to her character, and you can understand that they're very insecure, and that's probably why they act like this.
I was unwise with eyes unable to see. I fell in love everlasting. But love fell out with me.
And same thing goes for the stepsisters, who are fantastic. and they do relate to Cinderella in moments, but her mother is the one that pushes them away from relating to Cinderella. So I do feel bad for them because they want to get along with Cinderella in a sense, but their mother is the one that is keeping them from getting along with Cinderella and keeping them away. So it's a nice element that they bring to it, and you can see a lot of subtext, and subtext is important. The main plot hole, I would say, the main plot hole is the shoe. I know the glass slipper is a very important factor of the entire story of Cinderella. However, at this point, she's not wearing a mask. You can tell that her skin color is. Why are you going through the entire kingdom trying on this shoe with every single person when you know that she's not a white woman, and that eliminates half the kingdom right there. You also know about what heightened the features that she has. You spent a night with her, and it's not just the prince that goes, but it is the butler, Jason Alexander's character, and the prince go. And it just is unnecessary at this point. You know what she looks like. You remember what she looks like. She's the girl of your dreams. So why do people make such a big deal about stretching this out and putting this shoe on every single person? I love the fact that they tried to hide Cinderella into the room, but she escapes. And when they open up the cupboard, she's not there. And instead, she's out front trying to feed the horses. And it's really great because she knows it's time to escape. And she has enough character in herself. And even before, where she's outside and her epiphany moment is that she is praying to her father who has passed, saying that she doesn't deserve to live there and she deserves to be loved, and she knows that. And it's such an important message to know, and it's such an important factor to be aware of, and that's something that I really like about the Cinderella. Like I said, she knows what she wants, she has more strength, and she knows what to stand up for, and she's not that submissive person just taking orders and just living life existing. Because this is Rodgers and Hammerstein, it is a complete musical filled with fantastic songs. Even better, in my opinion, than the Walt Disney version. A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes is an iconic song, but there are so many more songs in this feature that I just love and listen to constantly on my playlist. There are some minor details, of course, that you can nitpick at this point, but for a television film that was just made for the Wonderful World of Disney and didn't have a theatrical release, this is better than the original theatrical release tenfold. I really admire this film. It is one of my all-time favorites. The music is fantastic, the cast is fantastic, everything flows together, and it just is such an enjoyable film to talk about. Every time it's on TV, I always try to watch it because it really is one of my all-time favorites. And I know I probably was in the right age group because I saw it when it first came on television. I really admire this film. I really do. This is one of my favorites. And a lot of people would argue how the cast is just so diverse that it doesn't make sense that a mother who is black and a father that is white can create an Asian son, but at the same time, you have to appreciate what they were going for. They didn't typecast. That was a nice thing. They did not typecast this time, and it was just based on talent, and I really admire that. I miss the 90s, I really do. Tomorrow we are going to continue with our final Cinderella film, the 2015 version that Disney came out with, and see if it holds up to the rest of them. And as always, I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.